How is it that evangelicalism grew so big? How did it become the public face of Christianity in the United States today? Some scholars will tell you that in the second half of the 20th century, evangelical churches grew while what get called mainline churches shrunk because American Christians appreciated the intense commitment that evangelical churches required. All those stodgy, lukewarm Episcopalians, Lutherans, Presbyterians, they didn't care whether you read your Bible, they didn't care whether you evangelized, they didn't care what you believed. And what American Christians really wanted, according to some scholars, was a religion that asked much of them. So, the narrative goes, from the mid-20th century on, American Christians chose the high demands of evangelicalism over the low demands of mainline Protestantism. But according to other scholars, who I find more convincing, the exact opposite is true. In the 1960s and beyond, millions of white Christians left their mainline churches and joined evangelical churches because many leaders in mainline denominations were pressuring their churches to support the civil rights movement, to oppose the Vietnam War, to wrestle with diverse theologies and biblical scholarship, to listen to feminists, to listen even to gay rights activists. In short, mainline leaders disrupted the social and political status quo for millions of white Christians, disrupted their racial privilege, their patriarchal assumptions, their hawkish nationalism, all comfortably supported by the illusions of biblical literalism. Meanwhile, evangelical leaders made it easier for white Christians to retain their belief in the status quo and to avoid learning from people who were not like them. Now, I think there is some truth to both of these perspectives, but what I will insist on as a historian is that the rise of evangelicalism was heavily fueled by its attacks on the civil rights movement, the anti-war movement, the feminist movement, and the gay rights movement. But it was fueled not just by its attacks on those movements themselves. Evangelicalism was fueled by its attacks on other Christians for supporting those movements.